What's up guys, welcome to another Honkai Star Rail video. If the game looks a little bit different to you today, it's because I'm going to be talking a little bit about Genshin Impact. I'm a day one free-to-play Genshin player, and I've learned a bunch of lessons throughout the years that I'm going to carry over into Honkai, and I'm going to share these tips with you all today. So without further ado, number one is I'm going to be pulling for less units. If you look here at my Genshin account, I've got over 15 5-stars, and honestly I probably use less than half of them on a regular basis. If you think about all the premium currency spent pulling for these units, it's a pretty big waste. I could have pulled for constellations, which are the equivalent of Star Rail's Eidolons, or weapons from my favorite characters. And speaking of weapons, I'll be pulling on the Star Rail weapon banners a bit more frequently too. In Genshin, the weapon banners are generally pretty terrible, especially for free-to-play. While the rates are comparable between the two games, Genshin has 2 featured weapons per banner. This means the odds of getting what you want are significantly less. Also, the pity system in Genshin is just cheeks. You have to lose twice before the next 5-star pull is guaranteed to be the weapon of your choice. In Star Rail, you only need to win one 75-25, which is pretty good odds. So I'll be pulling for more 5-star light cones, especially when they offer significant power boosts over alternative free-to-play options. Number 2 is don't believe the hype, guys. Or the hate, for that matter. The Genshin community has incorrectly judged several characters the first time around, and we later find out that those characters were actually pretty good. And on the flip side, there were also plenty of characters that the community was really excited for, and they ended up being just kind of mid, and you rarely see them used today. And that's how you end up with an account like mine that has a bunch of 5-stars that I never use. It's definitely okay to wait for reruns when you have a better idea of how good a character is. If Star Rail follows a similar cadence as Genshin, we'll be seeing reruns about 6 to 7 months after the first release of a character. This may seem like a long time to you, but it's really not in the grand scheme of things. Time passes by pretty quickly, and there can be new characters and content released that make previously undesirable characters pretty darn good. Third, you shouldn't need to farm for resources, and by resources, I mean the ones that you can get for free, like credits, character and light cone level up materials, etc. In Genshin, I have over 46 million Mora, which are the equivalent of credits, and more level up materials than I can ever need. This will likely be the same for Star Rail, as you get tons of this stuff by just doing your dailies and getting rewards from events. Obviously, right now we're in the early stages of the game, so everyone's pretty starved on these resources while you're leveling up a ton of characters. But if you're free to play, just be patient and use your Trailblaze power on other things like the trace materials and relics that you can't get otherwise for free. My 4th tip is don't be afraid to invest in your supports. Obviously, everyone's priority in the beginning is to invest in a really good DPS units, but in Genshin, supports are the backbone of any good team comp, and a lot of the best supports in the game have been around since launch, or at least the early days. DPS units can and will be power crept pretty frequently, but supports seem to be less prone to power creep. It's hard to say which of the current supports are the most future-proof, but if I had to guess, Bronya and Ting Yun would probably be good candidates. I think those 2 units, and maybe even Asta or Serval, can probably be pretty good in the game for quite a while. And my last tip is manage your burnout. In the early days of Genshin, I used to feel the need to do every bit of content and explore every inch of every region to get every last reward in the game. This isn't really healthy, and it's a shortcut to getting burnt out on the game. Nowadays, I don't rush to do most of the content. I have a bunch of quests and missions that I still haven't completed. So take your time and play the game at a pace that matches your schedule and your desire to invest time into the game. Most days it's going to be just doing dailies and logging off, and that's perfectly fine. There isn't much to do in Star Rail, since once you finish the main quest, there isn't a ton of exploration like in Genshin. Don't be afraid to take breaks and extended periods of time off from the game and come back once new content is released that you can actually enjoy. I anticipate this game being around for a long time, so don't feel pressured to constantly play it every day. And those are my tips for new Star Rail players as a longtime Genshin player. If you're also coming from Genshin, is there anything else you think new Star Rail players should know? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribe for more Star Rail content. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next one.